welcome back to Saturday Morning Live with Charlie Peters and me, Tatiana Sanchez.
Now, Labour insiders have said that Wes Streeting's allies are quietly pushing Angela Rayner to join in a joint ticket for the party leadership.
The Telegraph has revealed that the Health Secretary's team are offering her a top cabinet job if she backs his future bid for number 10.
Well, both sides have denied any pact, but multiple Labour sources say the proposal is doing the rounds as the party languishes in the polls and Angela Rayner's support on the left becomes crucial to any leadership run.
With us now is Kevin Meagher, the Associate Editor of Labour Uncut. And Kevin, what do you make of these allegations as they were?
Well, to go back to fundamentals, this is a pathology that plays out in the Labour Party when it's in government. There have only ever been 6 Labour governments in 120 years. They've all ended the same way, with senior figures knifing each other, fighting like proverbial ferrets in a sack, jockeying for position, and all the rest of it. And we're seeing that play out yet again depressingly because, of course, divided parties do not win elections. But it's indicative of the very febrile mood that there is amongst Labour MPs. There are rather a lot of Labour MPs, that big whacking majority that Keir Starmer won last year. And there's a lot of them, frankly, that are underemployed and not with very much to do, apart from plot and apart from trade their potential support for potential rivals to Keir Starmer. It's not good, but it's indicative of the fact that the government's popularity is in the toilet at the moment because of the state of the economy and because of everything else as well.
There's nothing more important than keeping your money and your identity safe online. And with so many VPN options available, choosing the right one can be pretty daunting. But this video's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is making the choice easier for GB News viewers. ExpressVPN is offering up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free. That's top-level security from just £2.49 a month, and you're covered by their 30-day money-back guarantee. So just click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code now. Remember, when you're online, you are often sharing personal data, so hackers can steal your information, your passwords, your photos, and your bank details in just seconds. But ExpressVPN encrypts your connection, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information. So why choose ExpressVPN? Well, it couldn't be easier to use. With just one click, you are protected. And ExpressVPN uses military-grade AES 256 encryption, which is the same standard trusted by the US government to guard their classified information. With their new tiered plans, you can protect up to 14 devices at once and manage passwords securely. Live chat support is available 24/7, and it typically connects you in under a minute with a real person. Click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off ExpressVPN, plus 4 months extra for free. Start protecting yourself today with ExpressVPN.
And that's not going to change unless things start to lift. I think Keir Starmer really needs to reassert his authority and to stop this briefing and counter briefing, because it's becoming very destructive, it's becoming very noisy, and it's becoming very, very public. And he needs to do something about it pretty rapidly. And the Prime Minister's authority, of course, is waning a bit because he's particularly unpopular, but he can do a lot to help himself by putting a bit of stick about and reminding his MPs and even his senior cabinet colleagues that they better stick together, because if they don't hang together, they hang separately.
Well, Kevin, I think those of us outside these Labour circles, with all this jockeying and plotting, as you put it, might be a bit surprised to see Angela Rayner's name still floating around. Of course, while she remains very popular inside the party, particularly in the left, I think perhaps some party figures have forgotten that she only had to resign very recently in disgrace over a tax matter, which is particularly difficult for the government as it deals with a significant blowback over it raising taxes during the most recent budget. It's pretty shocking for some people to see Angela Rayner's name being floated again as someone who could be involved in leading the country.
It looks a little bit self-indulgent when you've had very senior ministers that have had to resign, quite rightly, for very serious errors of judgment. And then 5 minutes later, they talked about as either coming back or becoming your next Prime Minister. I think the public look at that slightly askance and say, who do you think you are? There's a level of propriety in politics that's got to happen. When you've been, I think, forced out as a minister, there is a period of sackcloth and ashes that you must adorn if you hope to have any chance of coming back further down the line. You don't come back in 5 minutes' time. And I think it's as I say, indicative of there is a lot of febrile chatter going on at the top of the Labour Party and amongst MPs who are worried about holding their seats at the next general election, given the state of opinion polls. But they are not going to help themselves by going down this road. They need, for now, at the very least, to get behind Keir Starmer, be constructive, focus on the nation's priorities, focus on implementing their manifesto. They've all got plenty of things to be getting on with. They need to crack on and actually deliver results and then see where we get to. But I'm just reminded this morning of the line, I think, from W.B. Yeats, that the centre cannot hold and mere anarchy is loosed and the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. There's a lot of passionate intensity going on in the Labour Party, and frankly, a cold bath, I think, would be in order for the plotters.
Yes, and Kevin, also, as you've pointed to already, directly pointed to the level of unhappiness within the Labour Party, to the point that a poll has indicated that the party found the Energy Secretary, Ed Miliband, emerging as front-runner for replacement leader. What do you make to that?
I think there's more chance of me being leader than there is of Ed Miliband being leader again. I think the Labour Party is not going to go down that road. But there will be a lot of activists who will be out there in the rain this morning, knocking on doors, getting some flack for some of the government's mistakes, trying to explain what the government is doing well. And they're going to be presented with a lot of this. Look, you're behaving like some sort of Tudor court where somebody's in, somebody's out, you're going to knife the king, somebody's going to replace him, you're going to do deals and all the rest of it. That's not what the public want. The public want to hear how you're helping them with a cost of living crisis. The public want to hear how you're trying to improve the NHS, trying to improve the economy, and trying to tackle immigration. And those are the things that Labour needs to concentrate on and put this endless jockeying for position. As I say, it's a pathology in the Labour Party, all this stuff. They need to move on from it, and they need to move on from it quick, because that is what will kill this government more than anything else.
OK, Kevin Meagher, Associate Editor of Labour Uncut, thank you very much for your time this morning. Well, Tatiana, I mean, he's saying that activists out today will be knocking on those doors, getting a lot of flack for those issues. And of course, people are angry about, the jockeying for position. But perhaps they're doing that because they're not seeing this current leadership achieving what people want to see on issues like the cost of living and energy and all the rest of it. It's inevitable, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
And speaking of which, I mean, that poll's quite interesting, isn't it? Friends of GB News have been voting in our You Decide poll. We've been asking, would Wes Streeting make a better Prime Minister than Sir Keir Starmer?
Let us know. The results so far are on your screen now. 59% of you say yes, he would. 41% of you say no, he would not.
There you go. Well, you can get involved and become a friend of GB News for free by scanning the QR code on your screen now and vote in that poll. Sir Keir Starmer, if you're watching, it does seem as though Wes is having a bit of an uptick at the moment. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Well, we'll see what happens, but obviously they have both denied the allegations made.